Republicans are struggling right now, to say the least. It's just not going very well for them. I think that their lies and their blocking of good policy is kind of getting intertwined right now. And that's a very difficult spot for Republicans to be in. And they're being forced to defend their previous actions and their previous statements compared to what they're saying now and what they're trying to do now. And it's just colliding poorly. And it's just, such a mess. You wouldn't want to be a Republican representative right now. And this was perfectly present in a CNN interview that was done today with Republican Representative Nicole Malliotakis. She is MAGA. She supports Trump. She does his bidding, the whole 9 yards. And she was being confronted with the fact that Republicans have been holding up these incredibly important national security bills, bills that fund Ukraine, for example, which of course are very important. And they're also blocking immigration reform, that immigration bill that Biden, Senate Democrats, and Senate Republicans came to an agreement on, and then the MAGA wing of the party at the direction of Donald Trump killed it. And it's kind of just hard to defend those things, and this was very clear, very clear in this interview with Representative Nicole Malliotakis. So I'm going to show you a clip from that interview that really perfectly sums this up, and then we're going to talk about it after. But before I do so, make sure to subscribe down below. It goes such a long way. I greatly appreciate it. The support means the world. And now here's that CNN interview clip.
But Congresswoman, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to push the point there, though. But it is all happening. But at this moment in time, the time is of the essence on the funding for these aid bills. And this stuff has not gotten worked out in months.
Yeah, but that is why I'm making the case that, Senator Schumer and the president should be giving a little. They see what's happening to our country. Do they not see the drug cartels profiting billions of dollars by human trafficking and drug trafficking? Do they not see 100,000 Americans dying from fentanyl that's coming over our border? Why will they not work with us?
Well, they did try to pass. No, they did not,
actually.
Well, because the former president told them to kill it. So I'm just saying it was negotiated by James Lankford.
Well, first of all,
and Kirsten Sinema and Chris Murphy. It was a bipartisan piece of legislation.
Kind of uncomfortable for the Republican representative, wasn't it? Trying to defend the actions of her party in Congress. Not easy. And, she's trying to make these arguments, but everything she says is just not true. Right? She's saying on these aid bills and on the, specifically she brought up the border bill. She's like, maybe the president and Chuck Schumer should give a little, try to negotiate with the other side. But it's like, hold on now. That entire immigration bill was written by Democrats and Republicans. It includes Republican desires, Republican policy proposals. It is a bipartisan bill for a reason. People on both sides wrote it. So what are you talking about? Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer have to give a little. They gave. They gave. They are willing to sign a bipartisan bill and work on a bipartisan bill that her party, at the direction of Donald Trump, rejected. In this CNN interview, Republican Representative Nicole Malliotakis is trying to rewrite history in real time. The CNN host correctly points out that they literally gave a little. They passed the bill in the Senate, and Joe Biden said he would sign the immigration bill. And she's like, no, that's not what happened. It is what happened. We all saw it. Donald Trump brags about killing the bill. And thankfully, the CNN host did such a great job at holding her accountable and calling her out for these very clear lies that are provable and objective. But it's just so insane to me that all of these Republicans are just hopping on air and saying the complete opposite of the truth. They can't be honest about it. They can't say yeah, you know what? Our party did kill it. Our party did kill it. We realized we made a mistake, and let's try to work on this bill again and get it passed and send it to the president's desk. And these foreign aid bills are really important, and they shouldn't have been held up. Let's work on it now and get it passed. But no, they're not going with the honest strategy of saying we should do this now. They're going with the trying to rewrite history strategy and say that, it's the Democrats' fault that these things haven't happened. Not going to fly. Not going to fly. Because the Democrats have been calling for immigration reform. The Democrats have been calling for funding Ukraine. The Republicans, at the direction of Trump, with Marjorie Taylor Greene's help and Lauren Boebert cheering on the sidelines, have said, no, not doing it. The immigration, because it's an election year and Donald Trump wants an issue to run on, so they won't pass that bill. And Ukraine, because who knows why? Who knows why they opposed it? Because they want, well, actually, we do know why. It's because they want Putin to win. I mean, if we're being honest here, Marjorie Taylor Greene wants Russia to succeed. But, for logical people, it's hard to understand why any logical person would oppose that. And truly, as the CNN host pointed out correctly, time is of the essence, right? Time is of the essence on these issues. Ukraine especially. We know it's a dire situation happening in Eastern Europe right now, and it needs our support. Ukraine, the people of Ukraine, needs our support. They do way better when they have America's backing, when they have funding. And they do significantly worse when they don't. Who could have seen this coming, right? Oh, yeah, every single military expert ever projected this when Republicans are saying, yeah, we're not going to fund them anymore when they took back the House of Representatives in 2022. But now some Republicans are starting to realize that, oh, God, this is awkward. This is a bad spot to be in because they are letting Putin win. That's what they're doing. By blocking these foreign aid bills that they have been for so long and kind of finally starting to click in their heads, not all of them, but some, that it's actually critical that Ukraine succeeds, they're just giving wins to Putin. He is sitting in Moscow right now in the Kremlin with his feet up on the desk watching people like Marjorie Taylor Greene go on Fox News or watching Nicole Malliotakis go on CNN, and he's loving it. He's applauding, saying, more, keep doing it. Keep blocking the things that help Ukraine. Time is of the essence. And they're doing stuff like this, and they're rewriting history, and they're lying to us. And, oh, man, it's such a disaster. And this is why I say that these bad policies and their lies are starting to become intertwined, because interviews like this happened where the CNN host is like, well, hold on now. That's not true. Your party blocked this bill. You're citing issues at the border, whatever it might be, and your party blocked the funding to solve these issues. So what's the deal? What's the issue here? Oh, you recognize that Ukraine is in a bad position? You guys are the people who blocked it. You guys are the ones. So your lies and your blocked policy are starting to become intertwined, and they're starting to put you in a very bad position, an indefensible position, I describe it as. And I think that interview kind of shows that indefensible position. There's no response there. There wasn't any response. But we have some good news and bad news. The bad news is, who knows if these bills are actually going to get passed? Who knows if Ukraine is going to get the funding it needs? Who knows if immigration and the border is going to be addressed? But the good news is that we can vote all of these crazy lunatics out in November. We have the opportunity as Americans to make sure that Joe Biden stays in office, that the Senate stays blue, and the House stays blue. If we had a trifecta, like we did between 2021 and 2023, the first 2 years of Biden's presidency, we got a lot done. All of this wouldn't be a problem. We'd have immigration reform. We'd have funding for Ukraine. But since Republicans have one chamber of Congress, just one, everything gets stalled. So if we can take back the House majority, keep the Senate majority, expand our majorities in both of these chambers and win back the House and keep the presidency, we can make sure that stuff like this, insanity, doesn't happen. We can make sure that, as we talked about earlier today, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not in power and she's not introducing amendments to fund space lasers, which is real, by the way. You can check out the last video. Real. We can make sure that stuff like this does not happen and that our allies are protected and that we as Americans are protected and that we're passing policy that makes us better and improves the country. So anyway, I just think this interview today was emblematic of the tough position that the Republicans find themselves in. The Democrats are on the side of like, hey, we've done this, and this helped the American people by doing this. The Republicans are in the position of, we lied about this, we blocked this didn't happen because of us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a tough sale to voters. That's tough to to say that, hey, you should give us some more time and power, right? But anyway, we'll leave it there. Just so much insanity going on in government right now with Republicans at the helm of all this insanity, but I digress. Thank you so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes such a long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think. Share the video with anybody you think needs to see it. And as always, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.